This is the brand new Sunseeker Manhattan 55, and we've got a bit of an exclusive for AQUAHOLIC today because we're the first people outside of the factory to get on board and bring this boat to you. Now this replaces the Manhattan 52, which was a hugely popular boat for Sunseeker, one of the most popular ever, but they've done quite a lot of upgrades on this. They've done a really fantastic job. A couple of things to point out on the outside as we go past. These I like. These engine vents have been done in carbon fibre now. I don't know how well you can see that. They look really smart. Anyway, let's go and do the full tour. So this is going to be the interior, the deck areas, flybridge, engine room. There's a crew cabin on here, the lot. So we're going to step on at the back here via the high-low platform. This will take up to a Williams 325, so it's a pretty decent sized platform. And Sunseeker have done a bit of a beach club on this one as well. So you've got the seat here, that folds away when it's not in use. And if we drop this one down, there's a barbecue on that. Great place to grill some fish of an evening. You've got lights along here, and also this one here. If I push that button and lift that one up, it's a big deck locker, but you've also got a shower in here as well. That's a really nice feature, so when you come out from swimming you can shower yourself off. Anyway, let's head on board. There's a passerelle here. That's a hydraulic gangplank that comes out so you can board from the quay if you're stern to berthed, and in fact you can see the controls for it up in here. And what we have on here is a lot of entertaining space. So you've got this great cockpit at the back, big overhang, all nicely lit, but then they put things like this bar area in, which is really nice. So there's actually a drop window that comes down here. This door opens, as we've got at the minute, and that connects these two areas. You can see how this one folds over, and that gives a great place to sit just here. This again, also, you can fold. So if you don't want such a big table there, if you're not dining, you're just having a drink, you can have that at half its size. Other things that we've got while we're at the back here, you've got winches, so when you're stern to berthing, you can put a line around there and pull yourself in. This is quite neat as well. We've got little rope bins, so you can tuck the tails of your lines away in places like that. Anyway, let's head on to the interior first of all. They have done a really nice job with this. It's quite an uplift over the previous model. Now this one is finished in smoked eucalyptus, that's this dark colour, and then the silver oak, so you've got this wonderful contrast as you go in. There are other options, so if you wanted cherry for example, or walnut, then you can have that as well. There's other options across here. So this one's got the wine cooler in. If you want to, you can have a bar area here so that people can sit and sort of chat across ways, so that's quite nice. And if you go right on in, it's a galley aft layout. Again, this beautiful smoked eucalyptus. It provides such a contrast. It looks fantastic. We'll come around here. This is storage up along the top. Places like this, so you've got all your lovely Sunseeker crockery tucked away in places like this. Sinks are under here. They put covers on them, which is a nice idea because it means you can use that as extended work surface if you want. It's all electric cooking. It's Miele, hob and oven. We've also got in here a dishwasher, and they've seriously upgraded the cold storage as well. So all this over here, if I remember rightly, it's standard with cold storage here, then you can upgrade to optional cold storage here. These are big fridge drawers, and you can choose if you want to have freezers instead, then you can do. So you can set that up how you like, depending on how you're using the boat. But yeah, a ton of cold storage there. That's very good indeed. Let's head forward again. Again, you can see that detailing everywhere. There's beautiful stainless steel work around here for these grab rails as you step up. And again on the table, really nicely finished. Big, comfy social area around here. Some quite funky lighting as well, you can see in the ceiling. That's nice. And then on this side, this one's got a fixed TV. And what people often do with that then is display art on it. If you prefer to have a TV that retracts, you can do. You can have one that drops down into this shelf behind. So that again is owner specification. We'll head forward again. Helm is up here, and they've really tidied this up. What they've done is got rid of a lot of the switch gear. So all the main things are here where you can reach them easily, like the horn and the anchor winch, but then a lot more is put onto areas like this. I don't know how you can see this, but this is a control panel, so we can go into things like the interior lighting, for example. This is quite neat. There's a switch on here, so you can literally hit one button, close everything off. So at night, if you're heading out to sea, you can shut all the lights off in one go. You can get into ventilation on here. You can get into tankage, that's on here. So all of the main control systems for the boat are all accessed from that. And this little chap next to it, this is designed so that you can drop an iPad into there, so you can have backup navigation, or you can have your music on it. And the fellow next to it is a scan strut charger. This is quite neat. If you do that, that drops in there, charges your phone. Very good. What else have we got? This one's got a Seakeeper on it. The control for that is down here. That's a gyro stabilizer. We'll see that when we go into the engine room. VHF radio is here. We have bow and stern thruster, Simrad autopilot, and then your screens across here. These I think are 16-inch screens, and you can display radar, charts, engine instrumentation we've got on here at the minute, but you can obviously configure these however you want. You can just go into, so you can do another chart, for example, and have it zoomed at a different range, or whatever you want to do. I do like the way they finished all this, so you've got contrasting colours all the way around here. Just adds another bit of interest to the boat. And then there's more storage over on this side, so you've got these big deep lockers over here. Anyway, let's head down to the lower deck. Now this is your VIP guest cabinet. It looks like a master cabinet, so really good size. But no, that's for your guests. They've put double hatches in the top, so one is a skylight and one is an opening hatch. Big windows on here as well. We're actually at the Sunseeker factory at the moment, and if we look out here, we'll see Pool Quay over on the other side. You've got blinds that come down here. Of course, there's blinds for those hatches in the ceiling as well. And then this is all storage along in places like this. And then you've got over here, big hanging locker and storage underneath. And these are all soft close as you'd expect. There's more storage under the bed. So there's a big drawer underneath there. And they've kind of got it into everywhere really. You can see it all over here, down along here. AV system, so your TV is just here. And this is light switches, of course, but also your air conditioning controls are built in here as well. And I do like what they've done with these doors. I don't know how the camera's picking this up. Quite well, I think, but you can see the way they've cross-grained this. Just looks really, really classy. Over on this side, then, this is an ensuite access to the day heads. Separate shower stall, of course. More storage tucked away in places like this. But that is very nicely done. And you can see there's another door here, so that during the day people can come down the steps and straight into it, but also it means that cabin 3 has access to it. And this, I think, for a 55-foot boat, is a really good sized cabin. And again, I love the way they finished it. I love these lights that they've put in, the way they finished the deck head there. It's really, really classy. He's done a great job on this. Big windows as well on the side, and again, as you'd expect, hanging lockers, your TV, light switches, air conditioning controls, and so on. And you might have noticed these hatches in the floor. I'll show you what's down underneath there. This is access to the boat's mechanical systems. So plumbing, wiring, that kind of stuff can all be got at. Here's a perfect example. That's an air conditioning pump. And if we look back a little bit further, you can see systems like the drainage for the showers and sinks and that kind of thing. They all drain into a black water tank at the back there. So yeah, it's all very accessible, get-atable, as we like to say on AQUAHOLIC, for engineering purposes. Similar sort of thing here. This one is getting you access to the bow thruster, for example. So if ever there was a problem, it can be reached immediately. It's not a case of having to take the boat apart. Let's head on back a bit further, because back here is the master cabin. This is lovely. I really like the way they've done this shelving as you come in. And then, of course, this is full beam of the boat. That is a really, really nice cabin. Now over here, this has got a chalon. Great place to, as we like to say, tuck yourself away with a good book. But if you don't want that, you can have storage there. You have a little breakfast table there and a couple of chairs. So you can spec that how you want when you order the boat. Big TV in here. Love the detail on areas like this. This looks really nice across here. These are just small storage areas. And then big hanging lockers in places like this. These are drawers. And you notice they've done these that you don't have any catches sticking out of them. They're completely flush when they're closed, like so. Bedside tables have got USB sockets on them, that's a nice touch. And there's a load more storage down this side. So these, for example, are more drawers. And then you've got storage down underneath. And another view of pool key out of the window. Now this, as you'd expect, has an ensuite. Let's come right back into this corner. How nice is that? And the ensuite then is up here. It's a sliding door, so it's a pocket door, in fact, I think is the official terminology. And again, really nicely finished, really nice size. Rainfall shower in there. A load of headroom all the way through here, even in places like this. I'm 6'2" and stacks of room. Very nice indeed. If you're wondering about the life jacket and the high vis, that's because we're at the Sunseeker factory. They are very, very hot on health and safety, and they are very hot on masks as well. In case you're wondering, I've had to wear one the whole time, but they've let me take it off while I film the boat as there's nobody else on it. Let's go on back up here. Even these handrails that they've done with the wood, it just all feels and looks so very, very nice. And we'll go and take a look around the outside. So we've got the foredeck area to look at. We've also got the flybridge, and of course then engines and that crew cabin I promised you. So shoes on. We'll head round here, take a look down the outside. See these sides of these glazing on here, really big, what gives so much light inside and such a great view, of course. And then we come right up here. This then, as you can see, is laid out with a foredeck area as sunbathing. But if we look underneath here, you'll see that that one is actually a table. It's on a telescopic leg, so you can bring that up and have that as seating around a table on the foredeck. So that gives you another outside area. All your anchor handling kit is here, of course, big cleats and these pin lights all the way around, so at night it's all beautifully lit. That's the horns up there, and that's a remote control searchlight up behind them. Let's head on back. Very high rails on here. It does feel a very safe boat to walk around. Come right to the back and step on down. There is an option you can have in here, engine controls, so that when you're stern to berthing you can control the boat from there, but on this size of boat it's perhaps not quite so necessary, so as I say, it's an option if you want it. And that little chap there is Fusion Hi-Fi for outside. Okay, let's check out that flybridge. So steps up here, again that detail, look at the way they've done these helm seats. Beautiful, all this piping around them, just looks really, really good. Helm is up here. Now this is very much an owner-operator size of boat. You could have a crew, you probably wouldn't. So it's a great place to drive the boat, of course. It's got tremendous visibility out across the front. Twin screens again, so that's displaying your navigation information and your engine information. Love the way they've done the switch gear on here. It's really nicely done. But what I do like in particular is this seating area. As I say, it's very much an owner-operator kind of boat. When you're driving the boat, you can have your family or your friends around here. People can lounge in front. This area in particular I like. You can sit here with your back against this, facing out across the front. Beautiful. Very nice indeed. That again is another Fusion stereo control. And that one there is a waterproof scan-strut USB charger. So there's a couple of USB ports in there. If you want to charge your phone up here, then you can do it. This one has got the Bimini top. You can have a fixed hard top if you prefer. Again, owner specification, depends on what you choose when you order the boat. And then round here, this one has the sink underneath there. You can have a barbecue here if you want it. Of course, this boat has it at the back on the bathing platform as you saw when you come on, but if you wanted it here as well or instead, then you can do. And then down here, there's a fridge and an ice maker, and again that is owner specification, so you can have that as you want it. And then finally there is a little storage area on the side. And then at the back of the flybridge, another great seating area. This table will unfold, so brilliant place to dine with a tremendous view. And then up on top, Simrad Halo radar. On this one, again, you can spec navigation as you want it. And up on the top, you've got your GPS antennas, your nav light, and so forth. VHF radio aerials on either side. That's a really, really decent sized flybridge though. Very nice indeed. This closes down, so you can close this area off. It also means, of course, that with that down, there are canopies that you can put around the back of the boat. So they go around into these tracks up here, and that encloses this area. So if you're in the UK, for example, you can have this. It's almost like a conservatory, really. Let's go and check out the crew cabin, and then I think we'll finish up with the engines. So to get to that, we come down here. There's a door on this side. Press that little button, and that opens like so. Now, as I mentioned, you probably wouldn't have a crew on here, so this is for very occasional use, or just a bit of an overflow. You know, if you've got somebody who wants to stay on the boat just for a night, you have got another area where you can put them. Washing machine lives in here as well. You've got a sink down here. There is a shower and loo at the end, like so. And again, actually, it's finished very much the same sort of quality as the rest of the boat, so it's a decent cabin. Now, this is an optional extra because a lot of people might think, well, I don't want a crew, I don't need a crew cabin. But actually, of course, the advantage with this is that if you have a crew cabin, you can put gear in here. The alternative is not to have a crew cabin and have this just as storage, which of course you can still put gear in, but then nobody can sleep there. So this is quite a good option, even if you're not planning to use crew, because it gives you that versatility. Again, these hatches in the floor, these are access to some of the service areas. Talking of which, let's go and have a look in the engine room. So back out through here. I'll close that one back up. And the engine access then is under the cockpit floor down here. This is quite neat. When this comes up, you can see this goes off center, so it's impossible for somebody to close it down on you. You have to deliberately move that to the center, and then you can drop it. Now, another interesting thing about this boat is that you can have this with shaft drive, which is what this boat is. You can see the shafts going down here, or IPS drive. So if you want pods, you can have them. Now, with the shaft drive, this one's got the Volvo Penta D13 800, so they're 800 horsepower each. They're giving the boat over 30 knots. They reckon about 31, 32 knots flat out. Cruising range, you're probably about 250 miles, that sort of area. At high speed, obviously, drop speed right back, and you'll get an awful lot further. Exhaust systems out across here, and the silencers. Generator lives down here as well. This is an upgraded generator on this one because this has the Seakeeper stabilizer, so that I think is a 17.5 kilowatts. It's a really big generator, and that stabilizer, that's living down here, so that's the Seakeeper down in there. Worth looking those up on the internet actually, because they're a very, very clever device. But essentially you've got a flywheel that spins at incredibly high speed, and that gives a centrifugal force that the boat can then push against to stay level. What else have we got down here? If we go over here, this is where all the hydraulics live, back in this engineering space. So things like the trim tabs, the hydraulic bathing platform, that kind of thing. All the hydraulics that live in there. You can see how neat the engineering is on these. It does such a lovely job. Beautiful. Even areas like this, so these are deck drains. So when you get rain or seawater and it goes down the decks and goes through the drains, they come down to a single manifold. But look how they've done it all in stainless steel. I mean, that is completely out of sight. They don't need to, but they have, because it's a really high quality boat. Fuel tanks are in here, so there's one each side. You can see one here, and then there's another one over on the far side, and that blue tank is for the hot water. And then if we go right to the front of the engine room, we've got things like the battery charging systems. That's the blue fella over there. These, I don't know how you can see them, but these are all circuit breakers tucked in behind here. These, of course, will stop them getting knocked at all if anybody's down here. It is beautifully laid out. That is the passerelle I mentioned, so that extends out of the back for stern to berthing, and that is the mechanism that drives it up over there. It is a very, very nicely engineered boat. Excellent. So let's drop that one back down. As I say, I just need to move that across. And that'll go down like that. And I think I'm going to finish up down here at the beach club. Let's drop that one back up. And then I can sit here and say huge thanks to Sunseeker International. I'll put their website details in the description, so if you want to find out more or you want to locate a dealer, then you can do. Huge thanks as ever to you guys for watching. And if you're not subscribed, do me a favour, hit that little button. It really helps the channel and it'll keep you posted of new videos coming up, of which I hope there will be many. We'll catch you on another one very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.